together in peace and harmony. Even though I've kicked Xander here to the curb and replaced him as the head of Titan. And with that said, happy Thanksgiving to all.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel where I'll be doing another episode recap for today's Days of Our Lives, November 26, 2024. So today is all about Thanksgiving, and Justin and Steve are at the pub. They're helping on behalf of Roman, who is, still recovering from those tainted cupcakes, and they're, delivering packages to other people, in all the spirit of Thanksgiving, right? So Kate comes down to check in on them, and she's grateful that they're there to help out and all that. So she asks them to just man the pub while she go take care of some business. So while she was out, they begin to talk about Thanksgiving, and Justin just remembers his late wife, Adrian, and Steve also remembers her throughout the holidays and how they miss her and how she would be throughout these holidays. So speaking of holidays, they also talk about Chad and how he must feel that, he doesn't really have his wife. And Steve wanted to ask Justin his legal opinion on Cat Green, like how she got off. So he doesn't still know what would be the reason why Chad would convince EJ to let the charges off of Cat. So they're just wondering what could be. So anyways, Justin gets a call from Bonnie, and Bonnie is telling him that she is going to take over cooking for Thanksgiving. So he was telling Steve that if you could just save me a turkey dinner, it doesn't look like I'm going home for Thanksgiving. So clearly Bonnie does not know her way around the kitchen. Maggie's at the hospital. She's, checking for Sarah. She didn't see Sarah in her room, so she asked Kayla where she is. So Kayla says to her that, Sarah got discharged earlier today. She wanted to surprise you and the rest of the family. She's all cleared, good to go. So Maggie's overjoyed because, this was what they really wanted, a miracle for Sarah to walk again. So she hurriedly goes off to home to meet up with Sarah. So Sarah and Xander are home, and of course Bonnie is super overjoyed to see that Sarah is actually walking. Of course she has the cane for assistance, but she's on her 2 feet, and she, she's so overjoyed she almost hugged her. But Xander said, you gotta take it easy with her. So she said, sorry about that. She's just so overjoyed, and it just reminds her of her character where she had to learn to walk again and the whole begonia and stuff. So of course they were confused, but she reminded them that it was about her character in the soap opera, but it doesn't compare to the reality that Sarah's actually walking and all that. So she's just excited for her, happy for her. So they go up to the room to go see their daughter, and Bonnie is prepping to take over this Thanksgiving dinner. So Bonnie not only is annoying and cuckoo crazy, but she can cook. Because, as soon as she says she's going to deep fry a turkey, there's a small fire, happening in the kitchen. So Maggie comes in, and Maggie's surprised to see Bonnie in the apron, and she did tell her that, Cook got sick because he accidentally ate one of the tainted cupcakes that was meant for her, so she just offered to cook. So Maggie's saying, you don't have to go through all that. So anyways, that was when the small fire is happening, and she had to put it out, and she's sorry that it happened. So she said, at least you got to before it got big. And she said, I almost burnt down the mansion. So anyways, Maggie's saying maybe you just need to rest and we figure out something else. So she's like, you don't have any trust in me? She said, it's nothing like that. She said, don't worry about it, I understand. So she tells Justin that, look, it's not gonna happen, and maybe he can pick up some turkey dinner for them to still have somewhat of a Thanksgiving dinner. Sarah and Xander upstairs, and Sarah's just happy to be home to see her daughter and just to chase around her, right? Because that's what she really wanted. She said even if the serum didn't work, she would still be content with Xander and the daughter and her mom and family and loved ones. But she's also on the other hand super excited to be having this gift to walk again, and she can't believe she's saying this, but she's indebted to Dr. Rolf. Dr. Rolf is the one who made it happen, and she also is grateful for Brady. They owe him everything for him convincing Kristen to give over the serum. And Xander also feels bad about how he treated Brady, and he apologized to him and everything. So they started to talk about Phillip, and Xander is happy now that he doesn't have to give over the company, but he would do it for her in a heartbeat. But now that he didn't have to do that, he's going to fight Phillip for his birthright. And Sarah is just hoping that it's not going to be violent or anything like that. So he's like, no, we're going to go through the court system, and I am prepared to fight. He don't know what is coming his way. It is my birthright. I'm going to fight tooth and nail for it. So Sarah's all for him doing that. And some point they had a little bit of a intimate moment. They're in bed together and all of that, and Maggie comes up, knock the door, just to find out if she wants to go to the have dinner and Thanksgiving dinner. And they said they'll think about it because they just want to really be alone at this time. So the business that Kate had to take care of earlier, she was going over to her son. So Phillip, before she came in, Phillip was on the phone. He got a call from Statesville. Of course, we know it's Vivian. So Vivian is just seeing what he's up to, and he said it's been busy around here, but don't worry, you will get a cut of my inheritance when it all pulls through. I haven't forgotten and all that, right? So that's when Kate comes in, and he had to hang up the phone. So she's telling him happy Thanksgiving. So he's like, it's not happy for me. And she's like, let me guess, Vivian was trying to call you. So he's like, how did you know? So she said, she was trying to call me, but I blocked the call. So he's like, we can't put her off forever. She knows that the letter is forged, and she knows I had something to do with it. So who's to tell if she's not going to blab to authorities or anything? So she's like, I don't think that's gonna happen. She's looking at 25 to life. So though he's saying, I could be spending 25 to life next to her if she blabs. So anyways, he tells his mom about his plans to fight Xander in court for his birthright. He is having Stephanie represent him as PR so that the public can have a better opinion of him going into this whole legal battle. So she understands that, and she thinks it's, a good idea. However, her concern is his history with Stephanie from the past. So he's like, don't worry about it. We're professional or platonic. It was over years ago, so it's not going to be one of those situations. So she's like, I really don't trust it because of your history with Chloe and your obsession with her, and how that affected Brady and you selling him down the river and all that. So he's like, I am over that. I'm sane. I am a good man. I am level-headed now. You don't have to worry about me. So she's like, how can I not be worried? I thought you were dead and all that. But, just don't cross those boundaries. She was involved with Alex and stuff. I don't want it to be a situation like what you had with Brady and Chloe and all that. So he's like, don't worry about it. It's platonic, it's professional, and it will stay that way. So she invited him over to Thanksgiving dinner because he knows he's not welcome at the Kyrakis mansion. So he said he has no plans, so he just goes ahead with her. So speaking of Stephanie, she comes over to Alex's place, and before that, Alex was on the phone, and Joy was just thanking him yet again for keeping her secret. So he's like, don't worry about it. I, got your secret. I won't tell Chanel, and just thank you for taking care of me the other day. So she comes in, and she has some soup for him because she just want to check in on him and, see if he's okay. And she said that, the soup that her mom made would help him to feel a lot better because he said that he couldn't keep anything down. So anyways, she knows about the whole thing with Joy, and he said, yeah, Joy was over here for rehearsing lines, but I got sick at the same time. So she was there helping me out and just taking care of me. So she said, oh, you got a new friend? So it's like, yeah, she, went above and beyond, so it was nothing to it. So anyways, she said that she's going to be busy with work and all that, and at least she'll have the weekend to, do some PR stuff. However, she took on a new client. So he's like, who's that client? So she said, Phillip. So he's surprised because, that's his cousin and everything. And she also tells him that it's not even about the money. It's just that I care about him and we had a history. So he's surprised to hear that they had a history. And she said that we used to be engaged. It was complicated. It had to do with him and his father and all that. So he's like, he chose his father over you. I mean, I revere Uncle Vic and all that. I thought I was his son and everything. But like to choose between the relationship with you and all that. So she's like, it was more complicated than that. And I understand why he made that decision. And besides, it is what it is. I think he's a good man and I think he has every right to fight for his birthright. And he said, he caused a lot of problems that took him out of that position and all that. So he has himself to blame. And do you think you and him are gonna get back together? So she's like, no, we're just friends. It's not gonna go nowhere and everything. It's just professional and all that. So of course she was getting defensive over it. And Alex is just not trusting of the situation. So anyway, she said that she's going to Thanksgiving dinner with her family, and he said he's doing that likewise. So I guess he said that they will see each other at some point. So it was a little bit awkward how it left off. So Kayla finally comes over to the pub and she meets up with Justin and Steve, right? So Steve was on the phone talking with Bonnie about how they could salvage a dinner because, the dinner is ruined. Bonnie ruined the turkey and everything. And he suggests picking up some pizzas, even though it's unorthodox. Some people do have pizza for Thanksgiving. So she was not really happy with that. So Kayla overheard the conversation and Kayla said, there's more food here. You're more than welcome to invite your family over and we break bread together. So he did mention that to Bonnie. Of course, they're excited to come over and all of that, right? So she was talking to Maggie about it, and she was saying, they should bring over something for them. They don't really have nothing else, but so they mentioned wine, so they're gonna bring wine to the celebration. So at some point, Justin leaves to go take some of the turkey dinners to the church and all that, and Steve and Kayla had a moment, and Steve was telling Kayla how he's thankful for her and she feels the same way, and they just missing their sons and all that, and they just wish that they would be home, but of course they will catch up with them at some point in the day. So Justin and Bonnie meet up to go to this celebration. Alex comes over and she's just happy that their Thanksgiving day hasn't been ruined, and they're just happy to see each other. So Alex also is thankful to be a part of the dinner, and Justin is saying that despite how the year has been, and me thinking that you were Victor's son and all that, like I really am thankful that it worked out and that you were really my son and all that. So they had a really good moment together and all that, right? I won't hold you on this. Anyways, it's deja vu with Stephanie when both of her exes attend the dinner, and she's surprised to see them both. So of course they're over there because they were invited personally to come over. So she and the two of them, they're there in yet an awkward conversation. So Alex just comes directly to Phillip and says to him, like, listen, Xander has had a rough year. He just found out that he's the rightful heir to the Kiriakis fortune. His wife was in an accident caused by his own mom. Like, give the guy a break and just stop with this legal mess that you're doing. Like, you had a chance to run the company at one point and you blew it because of your own personal reasons, and you was somewhere sick and everything, and now you decide to come back. Like, you need to just drop it. So Alex was reading him for filth, and Phillip was like, nope, that's not gonna happen at all. So now that everybody's here, because the Kiriakises are here, the Johnsons, the Bradys, so Kayla leads the dinner with a prayer, and she's just thankful for everybody being here, and they're all seated and everything. So it's all going well, and she's thankful for Sarah actually being there, because Sarah and Xander showed up. And of course Phillip is saying, oh my gosh, Sarah, you're walking. So Xander is like, no thanks to you. So they just walk past him and they sit down. So everybody else is there, and Kayla is just happy that Sarah gets to walk again, and she will see her back at work at some point. So Phillip decides to take the opportunity to also do a toast, right? And we think it's all heartfelt at first. So at first, Phillip said that he's grateful for the Brady family to welcome in the Kirakis family with generous hospitality, and he didn't think he was gonna celebrate it with his own family, so he's happy to be here, and he's thankful. So he was like, in the same breath, he said, but Xander, I am going to be the rightful CEO of the company. I am outing you out of that position because I am going to be in control. So happy Thanksgiving. So of course everybody is shocked and surprised, and Xander is looking at him with the, regular smug face. So I don't know what Phillip is trying to do now. And Kate, of course, is happy about her son actually getting the birthright and all that. But anyways, I hope he falls flat on his butt. I really can't stand Phillip. I'm Team Xander, I'm sorry. But anyways, guys, that was it for today's episode. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to my channel. I will see you guys tomorrow for an all-new recap.